All right, question. I'm doing my roof raise or getting ready to, and as you can see, it's an old 95 bus, International. The guy welded the bolt here, so short of like grinding it off, I can't really remove this because it's too tight on that and it's rusted. Same with the other side, the bolt there, he welded it in. But the problem and question I have for you guys is, I know this back sheet is basically just held in by rivets going all the way around there and up there on both sides of the hat channel. Set this side as well. So my roof raise, I'm keeping the windows. I am going to remove this one just so I can cut. So I can cut right here. I'm going to go straight up. And then it starts curving here. Can't really see it on camera, but it starts to curve here. If I cut straight through there, this thing's in the way. I don't really want to cut this, but I can if I have to. But it seems easier to just kind of cut into here to separate it. And I can save this. And then even though it's curving here, I'm wondering if I just take the rivets higher on this one from here down on both sides, which will separate the sheet metal from this. And then, because this is welded onto the hat channel, and that's a problem because it also goes down into here, which I can't really get a grinder or anything into. I can't even get a plasma gun into it, it's too tight. So the guy seemed to have welded it all the way down for the support. So I'm just wondering if I push all these rivets out, which I could do from the outside, that'll remove the sheet up to here. The roof could technically go up, leaving this intact, this intact, this intact. And then the only oddity that I'm concerned about is that the curve, I'd probably have to cut it like here on the curve, where the curve starts right here. I'm probably gonna have to cut it up here to go through, but that's still gonna require me to cut through this piece of metal. So if I've got to cut through that metal anyways, I guess I've answered my own question. This is probably just gonna have to be destroyed or cut in the middle, extended up. And then maybe I can take a grinder wheel and just cut a triangle here. And then when I get to here, go straight across. There's not quite as much curve. I know, like, I don't have a curved hat channel to replace it with there, but I could just get a square tubing and put it here at an angle and then weld it in, like welded a new tube there. It won't be quite as flush, but I could get another piece of sheet metal and just kind of reinforce it maybe, and re-rivet that just to give it a little bit of strength, and then weld like make up a structure or whatever just to make it stronger when I'm done. But this cap seems challenging. And then the other thing here is I've got this bar here that I can't get to cut, and then it's got another bar behind it. But I still think if I just do the rivets all around, the cap will still lift off, and I can leave all that intact and not even have to cut it. So that'll keep the strength for the door. But short of doing major surgery on my mechanical part of my door, it's not coming off. I'm gonna have to grind the bolt or something to get it loose. And since if I'm gonna be cutting through here, this support's gonna probably have to come all the way off. I started to cut it, and I stopped myself. I cut up through here to separate this from that. So this is separated from that now. I'll probably just go ahead and cut that. Well, if I'm cutting it here, on this, I'll probably have to cut it here So I guess technically this could just go up with it, so I don't have to fully cut it all the way. So I'll just re-weld that part back and leave that support in. And just so you guys know, I have the extended roof. You can't really see, but this part goes up higher than the middle part. Whereas most buses tend to go downwards, mine goes upwards. So that makes it a little bit more challenging, but not too much more. And now on this side, I have the same challenge. There's all the wiring. Here's all the wiring I've extended already for the roof raise. This will go up in another foot. Made it 15 inches long, but I'm gonna go up 12 inches. Give myself a little bit extra length. You can see I've rewired them all, extended them, tested them, they all work great. So I'll just unhook this, take this window out, this frame, so I can do the same cut here. Just come straight up the hat channel, straight up through there. And then this shield will probably have to come off, I'm guessing, because I can't really cut through that. Plus there's like wires going through here, so I gotta be careful. So I think it would just make more sense to cut that off on both ends, and then I can work with it. And this shield is different. I'll probably just have to cut it above it instead of below it because of that whole metal piece there. The whole metal structure is all welded together. It's not just riveted, it's also welded. So it's like one solid piece. And I just need to remove the cap, so I'll probably cut it right there. That'll be easy enough. And I'll probably have to cut this here even though it's curved. And this will just kind of hang in a little, which won't be a problem. But that's just the way it's gonna have to be. And then as this goes up, I'll just put like a straight bar down into here to go up to connect to the curved part. And then put another, maybe build like another piece of sheet metal to round it off to give this a little bit extra strength. Won't seem to be quite as strong, but I'll figure something out to make it stronger and support it as I do it, but that's my idea. And then the rest of it's just punch rivets all the way out. You notice I don't have any flashers. Those are plates that Thomas put on. They even left the wiring for the flashers, but they never actually installed it. So that was actually done by Thomas, not me. There's the reed switch that used to work for the Vandalock system. It's just hanging in midair, but I already disabled it electrically down there. So really I could just remove that. And some puck lights I plan on adding. They already work with the bus panel, work off the bus batteries. And then the back, I plan on cutting in between these two because the bumper bar is right there and it goes all the way down, and that's where I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut all the way down under the windows, cut through here. You see across the bars between those two. I'm just going to cut straight through the middle, and then I'm going to cut straight through that. I'm going to cut straight under the window all the way through. This door, I'll cut straight through the door because it starts to curve inward right here. So if I cut just below that, just cut up below all the way around, same deal. Then all of this section, and all this just goes up with it. And I don't have to worry about de-riveting all that. Not that that would be too hard to do, but I don't have to mess with the wire links here or nothing. Like I can just leave it as is, keep the framing all together. I mean, this is kind of there's like extra sheet metal and all this other stuff I don't want to deal with. So I don't have to cut any of that. And by doing it that way, if I did it the original way, I was going to come up this way and leave this part intact and this part intact and just raise the cap. The reason why I'm thinking of not doing that is because this part here, you can see how it goes inward. It's not straight up and down. And it does the same thing here going this way a lot. And by raising this up straight to here, that's going to be inwards 2 inches. So I'll have this, the windows will be pushed out 2 inches, and this section would be in 2 inches. So that creates a weird problem that doesn't really fit because it's a Thomas bus. So that's the issue. But if I cut under it, it all just fits. Because right under it's all the same width all the way around. Inwards and out, it's the same. So let's just make all this go up. I don't have to redo my locks. I can just cut above the locks. The only thing I have to do is take these rear wires that go through the door. I'm going to end up slicing them when I cut through, and that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and extend all of these just like I did over there. I'm going to extend all of these about 15 inches, and then this one 15 inches, and the rest of the wires don't go through the walls. So I'll have extra slack, so when I raise it and I cut here, I can push this down and pull out the slack and then just rewire it where I cut it on accident. Well, on purpose, but I'm gonna accidentally cut it because I'm not gonna be able to see where I'm cutting and when I hit them. So I'm just gonna cut right through them, and that'll be okay. Because all the lights are below that section. So I'm definitely gonna cut through all of it. And yeah, that's basically it. And I've got these things here from Schoolie.com. I went ahead and ordered the Schoolie.com ones. I drove over there and met the guy. His shop's only like an hour away from my house. I'm doing 6 of these instead of 4. I've seen people use 4 for 40-foot roofs, and I don't know, it looks kind of janky to me, so I'm gonna do 6 of them. I'm gonna put 1 there, 1 there, and then I'm gonna have not quite in the middle. It's gonna be more towards the front, because the front's gonna be a little bit heavier than the back, because the front one has to go here instead of here. There's no room to put one there. Plus there's like all the stuff in the way, and same with this side of the door. And I'm not gonna be lifting it there anyways. I'm gonna be lifting it from here. So the hat channel here is gonna be cut low. So it'll be on that one and that one. And then I'll skip 2. I'll put 1 in the middle here on the 3rd. And then there's 1, 2, 3. So the back one will have 3 spaces between them, and then I'll have 1 there. So it'll be 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and then reverse. 1 there, skip 2, 1 there, skip 3, 1 there. And that should make it go up pretty good. Now, another thing, I saw someone take these same tools. Instead of welding them, because I was originally going to weld them, because that's what I've seen people do. You take one of these braces, and I already cleaned it, but I've seen them weld it like that. So you just weld it on both sides, and then you put the bar through, and then you weld another one up here. And I'm gonna make the cut right here, all the way down. So, but the problem, what I saw someone do with these, it was just interesting, is they took them and they just drilled like 3 bolt holes. And then they just put them like that on the side. And then they drilled 3 bolt holes into the hat channel. And then just screwed it on tight. Put it straight through the hat channel to the other side, and then bolt the other side. And that could do it too if you don't have a welder. That could be a good solution for you guys if you don't have a welder or don't have welding experience. Although to do the hat channels, the same guy that did bolts, he also bought hat channel extenders But instead of welding them, he bolted them, which is also interesting. But he made his own that overlapped, so he was able to bolt them. He didn't have to weld. So that was a guy who was really trying to avoid welding. I still recommend welding the hat channels, but if you want to save yourself some time and you don't trust your welds, or you could even do both. You could drill 3 holes, mount it, and then still weld around the edge of this to weld these on if you really want to make sure it's secure and tight. Different ways, recommendations, but yep. Let me know what you guys think about this part in particular, though. Like I said at the beginning of the video, where would you recommend cutting? Please take a snapshot of the video. Feel free to like draw red lines where you would suggest cutting. I'm just curious. I think I know what I'm gonna do, but I just wanna see what you guys would do. All right, I appreciate you for watching. Thanks.